I think the chapter that had the most impact for me, and that was probably the most interesting, was chapter 5, which talks about mental and emotional health. And there's several reasons for that. One is that my sister actually went through a really severe depression, and I've gone through some like minor depression before too. So a lot of this was really interesting to me to see, what can cause that and how to prevent that, and how to work through that. Self-esteem is a big thing. Respecting yourself. It's not the same thing as being prideful necessarily. It's just realizing that you're a person of value and showing respect for yourself. That goes a long way towards how you treat your body and how you also just the way you feel, your overall feelings. And I think the big thing for me that was interesting is how your feelings and your thoughts, the health of your brain and the health of your emotional health affects your bodily health physically. Your body and your feelings and your thoughts are very connected. And then how to properly deal with feelings is one thing that it talks about. If you just bottle up your feelings or you don't understand them, then you'll have a harder time. And that can cause physical problems too. So what are some ways that you can deal with with your feelings, whether they be bad or maybe or just varying emotions? You want to find someone that you can talk to about it. That's important. And I think people who aren't able to talk to anyone about it, they don't have a family where they feel like they go to their parents and talk about things they're feeling. They have dysfunctional families. That affects how they are emotionally, because they may not even understand what they're feeling, and part of winning the battle is understanding the feelings that you're feeling. Being able to talk them through and let them out. Another thing was anger. It's kind of the same. It's a feeling, so it's the same with other feelings. If you need to learn how to... Anger is just a natural emotion that we're going to have, but you need to learn how to let it out in the proper ways, not improper ways. Improper ways would be letting it out on people who have nothing to do with why you're angry. For example, in the book it said, something bad happens to you, someone does something bad to you and you go destroy public property. That's not a proper way to deal with anger. Or just bottling it up and trying to kind of be in denial of it and just let it increasingly get worse and worse so you just blow your top. That's not good. So what are some... And also depression, which I thought this was interesting, that depression is kind of a form of hiding your anger or suppressing your anger. It can be just anger that's just building up inside of you. And then also stress is a big one. Stress, if you don't know how to manage your stress well, that also builds up, and that can throw all other things out of whack, your emotions and the way you're thinking and just everything. And you'll be in that, there's a fight or flight kind of reaction that you have whenever you're under stress or even when you're angry. And if you're in that state all the time, then that's not healthy for you at all. That's not healthy for your body. So it could be that you have low serotonin levels, because serotonin is a chemical that helps to balance out that fight or flight reaction. So what are some things that you can do to help you manage stress? Make sure that you make time for happiness, for relaxation, for social life. I think being around other people helps you to get perspective and to realize that you and your problems aren't the only thing that's going on in the world, and it kind of helps you in a way, like, get over you and your problems and look around and focus on other things for a while, which is really one of the best medicine that you can get for stress. And then also other things that are important that will help with all of this, with dealing with mental and emotional health, is sleep is one of the biggest ones. Because when when my sister went through her depression, a lot of it was because of lack of sleep. She was pulling lots of all-nighters in her senior year of college, and that's what caused that. So in sleep, your brain is able to repair itself and to kind of heal itself and get ready for the next day. And if you don't get sleep, then your brain's not going to be working at the proper level. And so you're going to be thinking wrong. That'll affect your feelings, which will in turn affect your body and your health. And then also exercise is important. Exercise also helps with stress. Then also one thing it was talking about was head protection. And I know this because I actually had like a minor concussion once, and that was right before I kind of went through depression. So if you need to protect your head, because if you have head trauma, that can affect your thinking, which in turn can just affect everything. If you're thinking wrong, that can affect how you feel about things, and you could just be seeing everything from the wrong perspective. So protecting your head is also really important. So anyway, so this chapter was just the most interesting to me and kind of the most relevant for me. So.